Hello and welcome to the Bot Box. Previously on the Bot Box, 169 episodes ago, we talked about Maverick, which went out early in Series 4 of Robot Wars. Now it's time for Maverick's successor, Rick. A silver wedge armed with a rear hinge flipper and a spinner that was attached to the back. It also had a face and fringe painted on, and exposed-ish wheels. They did have wheel guards, but they were still vulnerable. Rick made its debut in Series 5 of Robot Wars, landing in Heat K, where it used 21st Seed, Attract Crusher, Suicidal Tendencies, who Maverick lost to in Series 4. When the two robots met, Suicidal Tendencies elected to attack Rick from the rear, where Rick's wheels were. Suicidal Tendencies pushed Rick around before putting a hole in them and letting them go, so they could catch them and put a second hole in Rick, of course. Rick lost some top armour and was very much on the defensive as Suicidal Tendencies put another hole in Rick, this time close to the wheels. Rick did at least try to get Suicidal Tendencies good and dizzy by spinning them around, but after that, Suicidal Tendencies took Rick on a tour of the arena. Rick gained more holes and drove too close to the flames before time ran out and the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of Suicidal Tendencies. But wait, we are not done with Series 5. See, Suicidal Tendencies were forced to withdraw due to motor issues, so Rick was reinstated to fight Spherical Axebot Destructible. Rick bumped into Destructible early on and managed to flip it, but Destructible got back on its wheels. Rick opened the pit as it became clear that Destructible was very dead and Shunt axed the Axebot. Rick flipped Destructible and Shunt axed the Roundbot again, for which Shunt got a red card because Shunt was not in its corner at the time. As Destructible was counted out, Rick pitted Destructible and made the heat final. Shame that Rick's reward for that was facing 4th seeded Crusher Razor. Young Francis Gallagher's face after he said Razor's name was quite a picture. It was like saying Razor's name just made the fact Rick was going to fight Razor real. The heat final got off to a bad start for Rick, managing to miss a flip and get a Razor-induced puncture early on. Razor then went for Rick's other wheel and the top part of Rick, removing it. They even got pushed into a wall. Then Rick gained a hole in the flipper. Rick used its flipper to get free, which worked, but Rick just said shunt for an axing. It got shunted to shunt, I should say. Then Razor put another hole in Rick, which used its flipper to try and get rid of Razor. Once again, it worked, but Rick gained another hole, not on the flipper this time, and it got put on the flame pit. And thus, Rick died and got counted out. Rick flew Air Floor Flipper and Sir Killalot tried to attack, only for Razor to attack Sir Killalot. So Sir Killalot went after Razor, someone opened the pit, and Razor got pitted. However, as Rick had already been counted out, Rick was out. And now we're done with Series 5. Time for some tag team, methinks. This time, US Tag Team. Rick teamed up with a Crusher for this one. If you can't beat them, fight alongside them. Namely Ming 3. And faced Axebot Cat 3 and Flipper bigger brother. I know I didn't mention this right last December when I had Bigger Brothers episode, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to find this series, and I pretty much ran out of time. Bigger Brothers episode was heavily delayed. The slip is already in the box. It will be addressed. Anyway, right. Rick elected to try and hit Cat 3 with his rear disc, but that just allowed Cat 3 to hit Rick with its axe, and the disc didn't do anything anyway. So Rick wisely got out of the way so it could try and attack from the sides, and it worked. Rick flipped Cat 3 over. That was when Ming 3 rocked up and dragged Cat 3 away. Bigger Brother also rocked up. So once again, the rules were defenestrated. Bigger Brother tried to rescue Cat 3 before flipping Ming 3. Ming 3 self-righted and went after Bigger Brother. Bigger Brother rescued Cat 3 before Cat 3 axed Bigger Brother. Rick annoying Cat 3 all the time. Cat 3, you're not supposed to axe your own tag team partner. Cat 3 died soon afterwards. Bigger Brother focused on Ming 3, getting the Crusher into all kinds of trouble. The pit was opened and Rick headed straight for Bigger Brother, lifting it up as time ran out and the judges poured in. They ruled in favour of Ming 3 and Rick. Next up in the final was Horizontal Spinner's Spin Doctor, not the ones that appeared on Robot Wars, the American one. The American version of the American robot called Spin Doctor. There's 3 Spin Doctors. And Full Body Spinner, the Revolutionist, also American. Ming 3 and Spin Doctor went out first, Ming 3 getting hit before the Revolutionist got out of its corner and hit one of Ming 3's exposed wheels. So Rick showed up and went straight for the Revolutionist, hitting the spinner a few times before flipping the Revolutionist, which could not self-right. And they left it to Ming 3 and Sergeant Bash. So Killalot picked Ming 3 up because reasons. Ming 3 was dropped. Rick went after Spin Doctor. The pit was opened, and Sir Killalot picked Rick up and tossed the flipper out of the arena, which was an illegal move and was ruled as such by the judges. Good going, Sir K. The Revolutionist was counted out and the time ran out before the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of Ming 3 and Rick, and, as a result, won the International Tag Team Terror Championships. So, back to the UK Wars and to Extreme 2, where Rick entered the Minor Meltdown, where the robots were driven by under 18s. Rick was the only robot that was driven by its regular driver, as Francis Gallagher, the driver of Rick, was only 12 at the time of Extreme 2. Rick drew Lifter Tetanus 2 and Flipper Killer Carrot 2. Lots of 2s in this fight. Rick tried to flip Killer Carrot 2 but mistimed the flip. Rick didn't mistime its flip when trying to flip Tetanus 2, but Tetanus was busy attacking Killer Carrot at the time, so it didn't go over. That changed when Tetanus 2 stopped attacking Killer Carrot 2. Rick flipped Tetanus 2 over. Tetanus 2, however, could self-right and did so. So Rick attacked both Killer Carrot 2 and Tetanus 2 at the same time, because why not? Focusing more on Killer Carrot 2 once Tetanus 2 escaped. Rick then escaped to open the pit as Killer Carrot 2 and Tetanus 2 ended up fighting each other. Rick flipped Tetanus 2 one last time before handing the lifter to kill a carrot too and pitied them. Next up was Bigger Brother. Rick went for Bigger Brother early on and got a couple of flips in, but had to escape Sir Kill-A-Lot as Bigger Brother pushed Rick into a corner. Both robots tried to find an angle of attack after that. Whilst Bigger Brother finally managed to find one and flipped Rick, which left it upside down for pretty much the rest of the fight, Dead Metal spontaneously lost its saw blade. Bigger Brother opened the pit and Rick nearly drove in, but got out of the way. Bigger Brother got Rick in a corner and Dead Metal grabbed Rick, but let go and no damage was done due to the incredible disappearing saw. Rick, still upside down, managed to clamp Bigger Brother using its flipper mechanism to clamp, but was grabbed by Dead Metal again once Bigger Brother got free. Once free, Bigger Brother rammed Rick into a wall and died. Dead Metal sitting on Rick did not help, but Bigger Brother rescued Rick and Rick still didn't move after that. Sir Kill-A-Lot pushed Rick around a bit before Rick was counted out and Dead Metal pitted them. Rick returned for Series 7 and landed in Heat C, where it drew Spike Bot Jock Stroke Spinner King Bee Powerworks and 2 flippers in the Hassocks Hog and 5th Seeds Danton Kia. Rick targeted the Hassocks Hog first, but mistimed a couple of flips. Danton Kia then flipped the Hassocks Hog and parked it on the flame pit. All of this was bad news for Rick, because the 5th Seeds elected to push Rick around. Danton Kia tried to flip Rick out of the arena, but Rick stayed in, only to get balanced on its rear end. So Rick used its flipper to try and get out of that predicament. King Bee Powerworks and Danton Kia did not make life easy for Rick, but once Danton Kia turned on King Bee Powerworks, Rick managed to escape. Meanwhile, the Hassocks Hog was counted out, one of its furry ears on fire. Danton Kia returned to annoy Rick some more by balancing the flipper on its rear end again. Rick got out of there, only to get parked under the Hassocks Hog. But, once again, got out, but got pushed around by King Bee Powerworks. Rick did flip Danton Kia though, whilst upside down. Meanwhile, Mr. Psycho dropped the Hassocks Hog outside the arena, a legal move because the Hassocks Hog was dead and counted out and no longer a factor in the battle. Danton Kia tried to flip Rick out of the arena again and sent Rick to Mr. Psycho. Rick got hammered. Bam. Before time ran out and the judges called in. It was a split decision, but they ruled in favour of Danton Kia and King Bee Powerworks. Rick was lucky to make the Heat final via reinstatement, but it ran with its luck as far as its not very kind draw would take it, and showed no fear. If it hadn't been targeted by Danton Kia in Series 7, it might have done better. In another heat it might have done better. It was a very flipper friendly series, but it was a bit on the slow side. However, considering the driver's age, it's fairly well. The driving was decent, and I'd say they did okay. They did well. It's a very determined effort. So, who's next? This one. URO. Well, join me next week when I will find out when I will tell you what URO stands for. Until then, Callison244, out.